I mean, the ping should be fine between these players. Should be okay.
Yeah.
I was just
We're
joking.
just, you know, yeah. We're just trying to make sure, you know, there are no infractions going on here. They are very lawful.
Predictions.
As we get some predictions going on in the chat to see which one of these two players will advance to the closed qualifiers that will be happening on Sunday. That's very fortunate to have, you know, a little bit of a day off. You know, you want to qualify tonight rather than tomorrow, because you want to have that little bit of time to really plan out how you want to plan out your series on the closed qualifier day itself. It's a little bit of an advantage. You know, some players say that they like having a little bit of momentum one day after another, but I think they are in the minority. Here on Inside and Out, in the bottom left-hand corner, map spawning all the way. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have a blue Protoss player come down from the land of Sydney. He is, of course, going to be representing the CranKy Ducklings. He is StarDuck.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the returning player himself, hailing from the land of the Australias, living in Singapore. It is NXZ.
I appreciate the wiggles that were in rhythm to that.
Oh, exactly. Here we go.
So,
Oh, mate, Ryan has returned to the game, to StarCraft. He was inspired by Chappie, inspired by all the bettings, reinvigorated. His passion is back, and he is here oh so close to having an insane run. His first qualifier back, not even dropping a map.
Yeah. But that's all about to change.
True.
Obviously.
Oh my god. Yeah, StarDuck already being a little bit annoying here with his first probe. He does force the unnatural natural out of NXZ, so just a little bit annoying, but so far everything is looking quite normal from our two players.
Yeah, just getting a bit of a sense of how each other plays. Again, have they ever... They have to have played against each other at some point, but it has definitely been a while. If that did happen.
I think they missed each other when it comes to their careers. I think NXZ had retired. Actually, no, okay, there was, I think, a couple-month period where they would have potentially played each other, but they may have missed each other in tournaments. It's possible that this is the first time they're playing.
That is astounding to me. Very astounding to me, but yeah, that is the reality of how it's going on, and it makes sense that they would want to at least spend the first game playing straight up to get a sense of how they play.
Yeah, I mean, StarDuck is playing pretty normal so far. The probe is... Oh my god. Oh, the body blocking here by the Adept. It looks like the probe is going to survive.
Oh, we spoke a little too soon there.
Nice pick off there by NXZ. He does get the probe. Meanwhile, StarDuck is opening up with a Stargate. And in recent times, we have seen StarDuck adopt that hero style. I remember him requesting specifically, yo, whenever you guys cast ESL Living Up Asia, let me know. I want to watch hero.
Yeah, he wants to get those replays that, as much as possible, we, point him to the direction of them, or at least the VODs. And he has been studying them very, very diligently. Again, StarDuck may spend a lot of time doing things that aren't laddering, but he spends a lot of time watching VODs and replaying and replays. NXZ, however, has no time for that, as he goes for a straight-up Link Flood.
Yeah, here we go. The wall is not a wall. We have an Oracle, but the Oracle has finite energy. The wall is not a wall, and NXZ, he may just end it all here with his Lings.
Ew! The pylon not quite able to be thrown down to fully wall off. Lings are still standing, and the Oracle is completely out of energy. We don't even have Warp Gate yet, Light, and the Warp Gate is depowered anyway. StarDuck forced to pull the boys, forced to try to turn this around. Yeah, but instead, his economy is being turned around.
There's a reason why, at the very beginning, before we even started casting this series, I was talking about how NXZ can be very cheesy. I was bringing up all these different all-ins, because again, that's just what he does. Oh my god, if he sees an opportunity to end the game early, he will go for it.
Not even 5 minutes yet. This is, yeah, not looking too great, but it wasn't looking too great for StarDuck either in the last game, but in the end, GG is called. NXZ will be taking game number 1.
GG does get called. A very quick game there. StarDuck did delay his own wall at the natural base to get a faster Stargate, which is usually fine, but unfortunately StarDuck didn't go across the map with his adept. He didn't have any scouting information. He didn't know that NXZ had cut drones and was making nothing but lings.
Yeah. Aye. This is what we were talking about before we got into this series. Like, you know, StarDuck, is he gonna scout? He hasn't yet so far.
No, I mean, he assumed there was no need to. You know, he assumed that we could just get into a normal standard game, but that was not going to be the case. And I'm just quickly double checking here. Yes, I have confirmation. NXZ and StarDuck have never played against each other in any tournament.
This is not even like an online weekly or anything like that. Yeah, this is going down in the history books, and I hope it doesn't go down as a 3-0.
I hope so as well. I believe in our boy. I believe in StarDuck. I believe he can fight back. But yeah, this is the first time that they are playing. Again, career-wise, they did miss each other. NXZ did retire in like 2020. I think the beginning of 2020, or even the end of 2019, or even beginning of 2019. Like the 2019 era.
He definitely played in 2018.
Yeah.
I remember stealing my casting him in Valencia back then. 2019, I think, was when he took a break, and then at the end of 2019, he came back, and then 2020, he just decided, you know what, I'm gonna abdicate my throne.
Yeah, exactly. Just wasn't a part of the competitive scene. He had stepped away, and that 2020 is when StarDuck rose.
He rose hard and high. As we continue on Cosmic Sapphire, the Protoss map, of course, where in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we, of course, have our blue Protoss player coming down from the land of Sydney. He is, of course, going to be representing our very own team, the CranKy Ducklings. He is StarDuck.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the... Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh boy. We have the Australian Zerg player himself, representing himself. He's come back from retirement, and he's full of cheese. Going for, I believe that was a 12-pool opener. It is NXZ.
But this should get scouted.
Yes, the probe scout is across the map. StarDuck at least, he confirms that it's not going to be a hatch first, but he doesn't go all the way into the main base. He doesn't realize how early the pool is.
But you know what? As long as he plays defensive, he should be fine, right? Right?
I mean, well, this probe will confirm links coming out. He will confirm that the spawning pool is already done, so now he can start to respond. And thankfully for StarDuck, we are on Cosmic Sapphire, and it doesn't take too many buildings to fully wall off here at the natural.
Yeah, pretty much just 2, and then from then, you just want to grab an Adept or a Stalker plus a shield battery if you can get away with it. Of course, you're going to have to start with the Zealot, though.
Yeah, and you know what? More links are coming. We've got 6 links coming across the map. We have 2 more behind this and 2 more in production, so 10 in total. We do have a wall being set up here for StarDuck. He did chrono out his first Zealot. He is ready.
Yeah, he's got all the tools he needs to defend against this, but of course if NXZ micros a little bit and dances around the Zealot, there's definitely an opportunity for him to slip on in. StarDuck, though, playing very, very tight with his defenses. Yeah,
exactly. A very good response so far against the 12 pool. Bearing in mind, the 12 pool is a macro opener. You only make 10 lings in total, and you do drone up behind this. With these 10 lings, your goal here is to either pick off an exposed building, which there is none on Cosmic Sapphire, so StarDuck is fine, and to keep StarDuck at home, at least until the Adepts come out.
Yeah, which will take a little bit of time. StarDuck is getting a couple more gates behind this. Of course, at this point, you're not getting a Stargate, are you?
Yeah, interesting. We have 2 gates behind this. This is very aggressive, and this all gets scouted by NXZ. He dips into the main base, recognizing how aggressive StarDuck is going to be on his gateways.
And NXZ is, still in the middle of his transition. Can't really afford to make a choice of whether to drone up or to get army just yet. I love the 4 pylon being thrown down here for StarDuck.
Yeah. I'm feeling 4-gate aggression. You know, we have 3 back at home. We could set up a 4th across the map. And this is a great way to really abuse the fact that NXZ, his link speed is going to be very late because of this opener. His drone count is going to be very low as well. So StarDuck can apply that pressure and can maybe even find a way to break his opponent.
Yeah, that's best case scenario for StarDuck, being able to break NXZ. But as long as he's able to contain him, it's still a victory for the Protoss side.
Yeah, and StarDuck is making a choice here. He could throw down a gateway. He could make use of this proxy pylon to reinforce. He does have 3 gates, don't get me wrong, but he's actually going for a Stargate behind this.
Huh. That's an interesting choice, to say the least, but maybe one that makes sense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit worried here for StarDuck. So link speed just finished up. NXZ has stopped droning, by the way. He went for a very fast roach run hidden behind this main base. He's going to make nothing but links and nothing but roaches, and he's going across the map once again.
Please be a Void Ray coming out from this Stargate, not an Oracle. We do have a full wall being thrown down, so at least StarDuck is preparing against the aggression coming his way, but look at how exposed his Cybercore is.
Yeah, the Cybercore is going to go down. At the same time, we see a mass Adept warping across the map. That is why we don't have a Void Ray, because the gas was spent on Adepts. He will be able to get into the main base, but roaches are here to defend.
And that's all NXZ needs to do with those roaches for now. Cybercore goes down, so StarDuck can warp in nothing but Zealots at this point. Adepts starting to get picked off as they get recalled. There's not much preventing NXZ from just going across the map with these roaches anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's looking to try and drone up because he did lose 4 drones here at the natural, so he is hurting economically. Like, StarDuck is ahead when it comes to the probe count right now. He just needs to defend. He has that Stargate. He hasn't made use of it yet.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides to throw down with that.
There it is.
And
it is.
It's going to be a Void Ray.
Yeah, it is going to be that Void Ray, so he will have plenty to defend. He will be fine here on 2 bases. Now he has to look towards the future, and there we go. He is going to be taking his gases, rebuilding that Cybercore. NXZ going... Well, it's going towards his lair on 2 bases.
Oh? What's the gas count looking like for NXZ? What is the gas count looking... not a lot of gas.
We don't have a lot of drones, mate. We don't...
yeah.
Not a lot of drones. With this lair, I'm imagining maybe it's going to roach speed just to be able to keep up with the aggression of StarDuck. We do see that NXZ is trying to drone his heart out. He's trying to make as many probes, as many drones as possible.
Yeah, he can't quite break StarDuck, not when the defensive position is so solid and tight like that, but he can use his lings to contain him on 2 bases while NXZ plays as greedy as he can get away with.
Exactly, but you know what? He's being contained here to 1 base because all the lost mine time at the natural was insane due to only 2 Adepts. StarDuck was able to sneak past the defenses, sneak past all of these lings, and get across the map.
Yeah, lings are definitely getting a lot of exercise on this map, going back and forth between both sides of the map. That is a very early Hydra Den. Has NXZ been watching Meal?
I believe so, because there we go. 2 more gases are being taken as well. NXZ is going for a Roach Hydra right now. It's very greedy. He's not going to have a lot to work with. His economy is really low because of it, but he may just be looking to hit a timing.
Yeah, I mean, this is about the same economy Miyawaka has when he does it, so I think this is I think he's doing this right, but we'll see if he's able to really pull it off. These stalkers can definitely get very, very scary against Hydras, but I actually just noticed this, like, they don't have Blink yet.
Yeah, Blink only just now starts. Like, StarDuck is getting into his economy. He is working towards his 3rd base. I still think that he's fine when it comes to his bases. He's pushing out without Blink. Oh boy, can he actually threaten this 3rd?
Oh, he's getting deep into creep, and NXZ is making a ton of links. He reveals his hand. StarDuck now knows that Hydra's coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. Hydras are on the way. The Lings are doing so much damage to these Blink-less Stalkers. The Lings are going to eventually be cleaned up, and then the Stalkers can go toe-to-toe with the Roaches, but it's taking so long for that to happen. Again, pushing out without Blink. I don't know if that was the wisest choice.
Yeah, that was definitely a little odd, a little overly aggressive to say the least. StarDuck is being pushed back to his side of the map, but at the same time, it's kind of difficult for NXZ to reinforce the rest of his army without Roach or Hydra upgrades.
Yeah, well, he's going for it because Hydra speed is about to finish up. NXZ is done droning. He wants to go for the kill move. This third base is not going to finish. Or will it?
StarDuck just wants to mine, man, and NXZ does not want to allow it. The defense advantage is really working to StarDuck's favor now. He's able to warp in as many stalkers as he needs to. Blink is so close to finishing up.
Yeah, StarDuck barely holds on. He holds on to his third base. He's going for a counterattack. Blink is going to finish up in 10 seconds. That will change the dynamic of this fight. And now NXZ is most likely regretting the fact that he opted not to drone.
Yeah. Kind of weird seeing him. It's kind of weird seeing NXZ be a little bit indecisive for a while. No, initially he went for the 12th pool, and he wasn't planning to drone up too much after that. But after he survived that, he decided to drone up. Then there was a counterattack by StarDuck, and after that, he decided to counterattack the counterattack. You know, be very aggressive. But yeah, it's not something you normally see from NXZ.
I would say that NXZ has been decisive. He just hasn't worked out.
It's just the wrong decision.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been decisive, but just the wrong decisions.
Yeah, like going into his roaches was the plan, but he wasn't expecting Adepts to be in his main base and to force him back and to delay the push. Meanwhile, he wanted to hit a Hydra timing. He wanted to hit a Hydra timing, but at the same time, StarDuck pushed out just at the moment when Hydras were popping out, and they honestly didn't really do anything for him either. Meanwhile, StarDuck once again is going to be threatening this fourth base. Does have Blink, but I don't know if he really wants to, again, engage with these Hydras yet.
Yeah, both range and speed has finished up for these Hydras. No other upgrades just yet, but NXZ is getting +1 melee, and that's exactly what you want against Blink Stalkers. Hydras are pretty much just here to clean up whatever's left.
Yeah, exactly. Like, NXZ has a lot of momentum here. So we're going to try and catch this Stalker army. We do see a Blink, but 4 Stalkers get caught.
A very nice pickoff before the fight even begins. NXZ is supply blocked for now, but does that matter too much? Because 24 Lings are streaming across the map.
Yeah, so many Lings. We need those Zealots sooner rather than later. Charge is on the horizon, but StarDuck doesn't have it yet. Meanwhile, the Lings aren't here to really buffer for the Hydra, so a couple of them do get picked off, but the Stalkers get surrounded.
Yeah, the Lings weren't there to buffer because they were going straight for the flank. But of course, Blink, you know, you can outblink a flank pretty easily.
And I don't know, I mean, NXZ is pushing into the natural. Look how many shield batters we have here from the early game. Like, this is not the fight to take, Papu.
It absolutely is not. StarDuck now able to push this all the way back, and fighting off creep, or being chased off creep, will allow StarDuck to get a couple of pickoffs with his Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, and now look at the economy. He's so far ahead. He's fully saturated on 3 bases. He now has Charge. He's about to have +1. He's working on Storm, as he even has the Templar Archives.
May as well. NXZ now taking up as quickly as possible. He's grabbing that Lurker Den, but there's going to be a massive window of opportunity where StarDuck will have Storm, will have Archons, will have so many Blink Stalkers, and NXZ will not have a single Lurker. But this is the play to make right now if you're NXZ. He did lose his third base, but at the very least, he won't be dying anytime soon.
He did force a recall. Yeah, he did force a recall out. It looks like he can even force a cancel on this fourth base. Meanwhile, NXZ isn't done. He's going for a massive counterattack towards that third base. Does force the cancel. Can he deal even more damage here as he forces more Archons? Again, StarDuck, he wants to preserve these High Templar. He wants energy for Storm.
It's kind of difficult to preserve them with, you know, they died Lings. Archons definitely will mitigate that, and Archons can definitely help out a lot against Lings and Hydras, but with their limited range, it's much more likely that the Zerg army gets a couple of pot shots off before the actual fight happens. That's 11 Lurkers on the way.
Oh, that's a lot of Lurkers, mate. NXZ has survived long enough to take up here. His economy isn't great, but he kind of is going for a Hail Mary play, going for layer tech Lurkers like this, but there is no detection. There was no Robo.
Yeah, no Observer either, but NXZ reveals his hand. Robo Facility being thrown down now, and StarDuck has to know these are completely vanilla Lurkers. He doesn't really have to fear them just yet.
Oh, but they're going for a massive counterattack. Honestly, the Lurkers, they can just kill a base, and there's nothing to stop them. At the same time, though, there's nothing to stop StarDuck from also doing the same.
Yeah, I feel like this is a better use of the Lurkers, honestly.
Yeah.
When they aren't upgraded like that.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we do see the army pushing on forward without lurkers to defend. We're going into a base trade.
Well, strap yourselves in, boys. We'll see who ends up getting the upper hand in this. StarDuck will have a recall available to him eventually, but for now, he's going to have to fight his way through these bases. It's not like NXZ has too much defenses either, in all fairness, but this is a really good fight to choke point for him.
It really is, as StarDuck is pushing on up into the main base. He blinks on forward. Every single Hydra is going to go down. NXZ will lose everything, and NXZ is the player forced to turn around.
Oh, not ideal. Not ideal whatsoever. Might have been worth it to keep a couple of lurkers back home to defend, but in fairness, NXZ had no idea StarDuck was going for the attack.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's going to burrow here on the low ground, so he's going to contain StarDuck here into his own main base. But you know what? The lair is going to go down. The Hydra Den, the Lurker Den, all the tech. And you were talking about it. StarDuck can always recall.
Yeah, it's always an option for him. Lurkers are slowly leapfrogging their way forward. The Archons are starting to get a little bit low, but that is the least of NXZ's problems when it comes to this Protoss army.
Oh, exactly, and there it is. There is that recall. A couple of Stalkers are going to be left behind, but he does save everything in the end. Meanwhile, back at home, do we have any detection? It looks like we do.
And now StarDuck has literally nothing to fear whatsoever. I'm a little bit surprised that NXZ was able to keep quite a bit of his army alive throughout all of that, but look at the worker count difference. Look at the fact that StarDuck has just warped in 3 more Archons. And just sped way ahead in the army supply as well.
Yeah, exactly. StarDuck is ahead in every aspect other than the lurkers. He doesn't have detection here. There we go. We do have a revelation on all of said lurkers, and there's nothing really to protect them, nothing to buffer.
I mean, blings, but they melt to the Archons. GG. StarDuck is able to time that series sideways 1-1. Very hot build from NXZ.
Very aggressive build.
Very aggressive build.
Very in your
very
face.
Very up progression.
Yeah, very in your face by NXZ. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't want to be in the face of Protoss. But what I will say is that StarDuck had a really nice timings when it came to his harassment and also his counterattacks. NXZ wanted to be the one that was being aggressive and having the momentum, but that was kind of stripped away from him by StarDuck. StarDuck was kind of able to keep up, and it felt like NXZ was a little bit uncomfortable with that. You know, he was working off of a very low drone count, and he wasn't able to really make use of that. He wasn't able to really, you know, deny the bases of StarDuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Cosmic Sapphire things in a way. We see how easy it is to defend as a Protoss player, or yeah, especially as a Protoss player, because of how few buildings you need in your walls. On another map, I can't imagine the same build working for NXZ, just not this one.
Yeah, we'll see. The other worrisome thing, not really. I was gonna say the worrisome thing is that NXZ has to be careful because he has to be careful with what builds he uses, because most likely he shouldn't be doing the same thing in this series like over and over again. But at the same time, I know that NXZ, he's got like, again, plenty of builds available. Like I'm sure he has something fresh for every single game.
Yeah, now that his aggressive builds have been held, we'll see if he reaches deep into more of a macro build, more of a it's more of a macro build. What else can you really do other than that?
I'm predicting Ling Bane bust. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Oh god, we'll see though. We'll see, because again, NXZ has been pretty crazy. I mean, let's be real. Like, I haven't seen a player like rush Hydras like that ever. Like, even me and Micah does it in a bit of a different way. Like, he's a little bit more refined in that respect and surprisingly macro oriented. But yeah, NXZ just doing his own thing,
figuring it out as the series goes on. And the good thing for NXZ here is that since we are in a best of 5, he has a couple more, maps to refine these styles on, or these builds on.
Yes, he does. As it looks like our map of choice has been chosen. It is going to be Moondance. We're going to be dancing in the moonlight, and this is a pretty good map for Roach timings or even Ling all-ins.
Or proxy hatches.
You're not wrong. If Eric was playing, I would love to see a proxy hatch. I don't know if NXZ would do it. I hope so.
Yeah. I have yet to see a Zerg player proxy in the pocket of their opponent, but
True.
one day we'll see that.
One day, man. Okay, well, yo, we'll message
Get
Papa
on it,
Panda.
Eric. Get on it, Papa. As we continue our best of 5 qualifying match here on Moondance. Where, of course, in the top left-hand corner map, swatting all the way in that top left-hand corner, we have our Blue Protoss player getting proxy hatched. He is representing the CranKy Ducklings from the land of Sydney. He is StarDuck.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance, we have the Australian Zerg player himself going for that proxy hatch. Immediately sending his drone across the map. There it is at the triangular third location. We have the Australian Zerg. It is NXZ.
That's the best part about having Ryan here in Singapore Light. He can overhear what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like, that's a good idea, actually.
Like, I expect if we go all the way to the ace match, maybe one game will be a macro game from NXZ. I expect cheese every other game, and we've seen something a little bit different so far in all 3 games.
Yeah. Had a very aggressive Ling Flood in game number 1, but still technically a macro opening from NXZ. Game number 2 was a straight up 12 pool into a very odd Hydra Lurker composition, and now we got that proxy hatch going on. StarDuck, though, he smells something fishy. He's getting that forge for cannons.
Let's go. He does respond beautifully here. How do you respond to a proxy hatch? Well, you throw down a forge and you make cannons, papi. StarDuck did go for a probe scout. He confirmed, okay, there was there was a gas already being taken. The spawning pool was already on the way. He even makes sure that there is no pocket base, so he knows that there's a proxy hatch somewhere.
It'd be insane to go for the pocket base straight away and try to get your opponent to overreact, but yeah, it was not the case this time. NXZ going for roaches, as of course Ravagers are probably the best unit you can use to break down a wall for this early on anyway.
Yeah, and that's why this scout is going to be so important. If StarDuck does get into the main base, he needs to get behind the mineral line, because right now he doesn't know what kind of proxy hatch this is going to be. He doesn't necessarily know that roaches are going to be on the way. Lings do reveal themselves. StarDuck hasn't seen the location yet, but he is preparing himself. Shield battery on the way, adepts as well, but against something like roaches and Ravagers, you know, Stalkers would be a little bit more ideal.
Yeah, it definitely takes a little bit of time before NXZ can get his roaches up and ready to get his Ravagers ready to bile down these units. StarDuck going for a Stargate right now. If he survives long enough, a Void Ray will be useful, but that's a pretty big if.
Yeah, exactly. So far, these roaches are having a hard time breaking through. The adepts are protected by that shield battery. We have a second pylon on the way as well, so there's no Artosis pylon available. So StarDuck is responding quite well to this, but ooh, we are out of energy on that shield battery.
Yeah, no Nexus over here, so of course not gonna have a battery overcharge. StarDuck once again on top of that very, very weak cocoon. But the Ravager will be made. Corrosive Biles can be thrown down.
Oh, this is scary because NXZ, as soon as the wall is in the wall, he's going to go for a Ling Flood. The Adept is already surrounded. Void Ray is on the way, but it may be too late because the Lings are coming in.
Yeah, the shield battery has been broken. And, a little bit too late on the secondary wall. There's just a little bit too much DPS from NXZ here. But now there's nothing really holding him back. He's trying to go for a Ling Flood, as you said, but yeah, getting a little bit distracted by that cannon, not really going for the throat just yet.
Yeah, but you know what? The Lings, they bust on in anyway. The low ground is now forfeit. Warp Gate should finish, so StarDuck will be able to reinforce, and he does have that Void Ray coming out.
Yeah, fortunately for NXZ, he did not go all the way in, I don't think, to scout that Stargate. If he did, he probably would have gone for the throat immediately. So StarDuck actually has a chance.
There it is.
He does. He defends beautifully and is now a match point against NXZ.
Mate, NXZ spent so much time busting through that wall. It took him a long time, as you were pointing out. You know, sometimes a little bit distracted by the cannon, but again, he needed to break on through anyway. StarDuck responding so well. He was so quick to throw down that forge.
Yep. Again, the brain on this lad cannot be beat. There is a reason why he is a strategist. for the CranKy Ducklings.
Oh yeah. That is what he is known as, the Void. There was no answer to the Void Ray either. There weren't any queens being proxied or anything like that. It was just pure Ling Roach Ravager. And there were plenty of pylons and low ground as well, just to make sure that warp gate finished and we would be able to warp in defensively at home as well. So a very strong response by StarDuck. Next game. Call it. Yaku. What's it going to be? What's NXZ going to do?
It's going to be on Data C.
You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess on that.
Oh,
okay. We've seen 12 Pool. We've seen Proxy Hatch. We've seen Ling Flood.
You've been teasing it since the start of the series, and he hasn't done it yet. I think if there was ever a time to pull it out, now is the time for NXZ to go Ling Bane Bust.
A Bane Bust, mate.
It's his classic.
Data C.
Known for back in the day. I don't know if it's going to be Data C or not.
Oh, and it is. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have our lobby. We have our lobby. You can join us. Beautiful. So yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to a Bane Bust here, but Data C is such a defensive map. God, I'm sure there's a reason why NXZ isn't jumping in quite yet. He's going back to the drawing board. You know, he's rolling the dice. He's spinning the wheel. He's trying to figure out what build do I go for.
He's throwing the dart onto the board. You know,
he's blindfolding himself first as he throws the dart. You know, he's covering his eyes.
All of a sudden, the dart hits Miyomika.
Oh god! But now, like, without watching it, I now understand how he was able to 2-0 Pez.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Pez, the #1 PvZ player, if it's a macro game, has been a little bit vulnerable to cheese in the past. Sando asking this a little bit. You know, what happened to the intro redemptions? Well, I have a Ricola over here. Ready. I have a lozenge ready.
Oh yes!
Gonna have one of those going down.
We're on match point. Okay, this could be the final game. This could be the final game. So, a Royan intro.
Let me just suck on this lozenge for a little bit. I'm down to one. I'm down to one left in my box. I need to get more of these.
Yeah, it was one just for this moment, mate. Just for this match. He needs to bring it back here if he wants a chance at qualifying for the closed qualifier for DreamHack. StarDuck only needs uno más, mate. Uno más.
Un momento, por favor.
I love Emperor Fuble in the chat. Ducklings can't lose during the Duckling stream due to plot armor.
Aha! Should have thought about that one, Ryan.
Should have joined the Ducklings when he had a chance. You could have done it. You could have been one of us.
You were ready. You know, you were going to be our representative from Singapore. You didn't grab it.
Oh my god. I'm just catching up in the chat. I do see Emperor saying fast ultras. Oh my god. Yes, everyone get in on this. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a Bane Bust, fast ultras? Are we going to see a Roach timing? We're going to see a Nidus Queen all in.
We should have a prediction game solely for what cheese is going to be.
True. Is he going to go crazy? And is this game 4 going to be the game that NXZ plays macro?
No, it can't be right. But maybe. You know, he's on the ropes a little bit. He's getting a little bit desperate.
Yeah, definitely. I can feel the desperation, mate.
You can sense it all the way from Sydney.
I can sense it.
Oh, and we're gonna be coming down for another match here. Another map here. That map, of course, being Data Under the Sea. No, wait. We're in. Coming up here in the top right hand corner of the map, we of course have our very own homegrown player, Protoss player coming out here from the land of Sydney Arbor. That's where I get my billabongs at. And what have you representing the CranKy Ducklings? He is StarDuck. Yeah, that's right.
Keep going, puppy. Keep going.
And over here, coming down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, he is a red Zerg player. He was originally from the north. He was from the Brisbane area, but then has gone up a bit further north to Singapore. Right next door to me. Alright. He is going to be representing himself. You got a little bit more macro. He is, of course, the absolute legend that we all know about. He is Ryan NXZ Jones.
I didn't realize I was casting with Quirky again. Oh my god. That was uncanny. That's right. That's also the song that you were playing at the start, was that Police Police Academy?
I was thinking of movie soundtracks, and I was like, wait, I need to be Aussie for this one.
I need to be Aussie for Police Academy. What is wrong with you? And then you went to that Land Down Under. I got that at least. I heard it. In my brain, I was like, "The hell is this? I know this song. It's goddamn Police Academy. Why is he playing Police Academy?" Oh my god!
I just think of a soundtrack.
Shaking my head. Well,
I gotta be honest. I was thinking, what's that song from Predator?
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh wait, no, I don't remember it.
Yeah. What's it called? I don't know. I know what it's called. We'll listen to that later.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. We are actually getting into a normal game here. NXZ did go for a hatch first, a hatch gas pool, going for his third base on time as well. NXZ, now that he's up against the wall, he's forced to play a straight up game.
And desperation, man, yeah. And honestly, this is kind of where StarDuck thrives, but at the same time, I would not underestimate NXZ's abilities in the macro game. He plays cheesy because he can get away with it, not because he can't play macro.
Or so we think.
Well, I mean, yeah. I would like to be.
We're about to find out, mate. We're gonna
find out whether or not he is
got the chops.
Got the chops for it, yeah.
Good. I apologize for everyone. For people who are wondering what the hell just happened, that was a Ryan intro. We do have point redemptions for different accent intros, and I apologize.
You're welcome.
Well, this was specifically, that intro is dedicated to NXZ. That is where the intro came from. So on brand. Meanwhile, we do see that StarDuck did open up with a Stargate opener as well. Again, meeting NXZ in the more standard macro play, going for double, I imagine going to be triple Oracle opener here, as the first two do come out. And NXZ is focusing a lot more on droning. Unlike Oreo, he is not going for a little bit of a Ling run back. He's not looking to try and apply any pressure to this third.
Which can definitely get scary on a map here like Data C. I mean, with this style that StarDuck is going, it looks to be the hero style. Once he's in a stable economic position, once he's able to, start to warp in more and more of his gateway units, eventually he's going to get to a point where it's kind of unstoppable. But I like this from NXZ. He's kind of anticipating that. He did scout a little bit of what StarDuck is doing. He immediately researches +1 melee.
Yeah. There we go. +1 melee is on the horizon against NXZ, fully aware of how to counter this kind of triple Oracle into Blink Stalker play, which should be what we're getting into, but surprisingly, there is no Twilight Council.
Huh.
Mate, it's 4-gate Blink.
Yeah,
no, just 4 gates. It's just 4 gates.
4-gate with no Blink. Yeah, it's 4 gate.
What?
It's 4-gate Blink, but, without the Blink.
Yeah, and this is going to hit hard. This is going to hit fast. Obviously, this is a lot more committed because we don't have tech to fall back on. But this is also going to be a little bit of an off-tempo timing. NXZ has been droning fairly well. He does stop here at 56 though, and honestly at a really good count because he needs nothing but Lings right now.
Yeah, he can still mine, and, his 3 bases are still saturated from here. But like you said, he needs to be pumping out Ling after Ling after Ling. 20 of them are on the way, but a couple of Lings are already starting to get picked off here. Couple of Queens as well. +1 is still a ways off.
Yeah, and I think that was maybe a mistake because StarDuck activated his Pulsar Beam a little bit too early. They're not here to support these Stalkers, and we get a full surround.
So many of them have gone down, mate. So many of them have gone down. 28 links on production now for NXZ, and he is sending them immediately across the map. What does StarDuck have to defend?
He has a couple of remaining Stalkers from that previous engagement. We do not have a full wall of... Just barely manages to get the shield battery down in time. It looks like StarDuck should be able to defend in time. His Oracle is on the way, and he forces NXZ back.
Whew, that buys him a ton of breathing room. But NXZ is using this time as well to get a Hydra Den, to get a Baneling Nest.
Yes, he does. At the same time, he goes for another bit of a Ling run by, but the Stalkers are in a very nice position, wedged between these gateways. The Lings do not find any damage whatsoever. No shield battery at the third, so these Lings are actually going to be able to deal a little bit of damage here. But finally, we have Blink on the way, and to make up for the delayed tech, StarDuck is going for double Forge.
Yeah, may as well. You know, Blink Stalkers, well upgraded and in the hands of a player with good enough control is, if you ask me, even better than Disruptors.
Yeah, it really can be. It really can be that scary and that terrifying. Meanwhile, NXZ, this also kind of ate into his own drone count. Because he made so many Lings, it took him a while to get up to 66 drones, which is what he is at now. Because of that, StarDuck is ahead in the economy. Like, he is perfectly fine
Surprisingly,
with his bases and with his workers.
He's actually mining more gas at the moment than NXZ is. Quite a bit more gas.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit of harassment here. Ooh, NXZ being a little bit too greedy. The Spore is not in position. 4 drones, 5 drones go down.
And that's gonna make it even tougher for NXZ to catch it back up. He's at the point where he would much rather be spending his larva on army instead of having to remake all of these drones.
Exactly. Like, he wants Ling Bane right now. He wants Ling Bane Hydra. Speaking of, Banelings are being morphed in. The Lings try and find a way in, but they come across this Oracle, so they're not going to be able to find any kind of damage here. Not yet. Ooh, as he is going into those Hydras. Just similarly to Oreo.
Yeah, but, yeah, pretty much. We'll see how NXZ responds to this style, though, compared to Oreo. And Oreo, I mean, he was mentioning it after when he got out of game. He doesn't really know what the timings are just yet. He doesn't really know what he's supposed to do with the army that he gets yet. Maybe NXZ is a little bit more aware. Well,
the difference is that NXZ has map control. Because of the opener and because of the delayed blink, like, the creep is actually getting a little bit out of hand. NXZ does already have a 4th up and running. He has a 5th on the way. He has a 6th on the way. He has a macro hatch. Economically, he has now hit 82 drones. He is done droning. And this is a stage of the game that, Oreo just wasn't able to get to. He wasn't able to comfortably get up to this amount of bases.
Yeah, I mean, NXZ even has a macro hatch behind this.
Yeah.
It's a testament to how stable and how strong his economy is at the moment. He is a couple of Overlords away from maxing out. I'm getting a couple of Drop Lords, because why the hell not? He's up in supply.
Yeah.
Might as well drop.
Exactly. We'll see if NXZ can break on through. He does have a couple of Links here on the left-hand side trying to get through this gateway, and then the Banelings into that mineral line. Is this going to respond in time? The shield battery is not going to be able to keep this alive.
The wall is wide on open, but here comes the Stalkers to plug up that hole.
Yeah, arguably a stronger wall here in these Stalkers. But StarDuck has to be careful, and he has to make sure he's able to replenish this wall, because if he doesn't, and if he gets pulled away towards the right-hand side, then NXZ will find a way in.
And he is waiting for that, and he might even just force that way in with a couple of Hero Overlords.
Oh, exactly. The Lings
zooming on forward.
Yeah, the Lings test the waters a little bit. We do have a warp into the main base. StarDuck, he does see this.
And he does react accordingly. The probes are a little bit bunched up. There's not quite enough DPS in this one Stalker to be able to kill that Dropper Lord. 19 probes go down. And StarDuck does not have much of a bank to work off of. NXZ is fully maxed out. StarDuck still needs time to re-stabilize and remake his army.
Yeah,
well, not remake his army, but, you know.
NXZ from here, he can go into his Hive, he can go into a Lurker Den, he can go Hydra, Lurker, Viper from here, which is a very, very formidable army against what StarDuck has. StarDuck is just not ready for this. Looking at the units, looking at the upgrades, he does have Storm, don't get me wrong, so StarDuck, despite being behind in supply, he can still take a great fight as long as the Storms are on point. That's a lot of High Templar, actually.
Yeah. We have 0 Archons right now, and that's exactly ideal for Protoss, some nice storms on top of most of the armies.
Ooh.
The banelings get evaporated, and the lings fall shortly after. That was a terrible fight by NXZ.
Exactly, but you know what? Yeah, more storms are behind that. That's why there were just so many High Templar. We still have like 6 storms here, just in the chamber.
Dude, that's a Protoss player's wet dream. Somebody make a gif of just that one fight as NXZ is going into that. You will satisfy so many Protoss players, I swear to God.
Exactly. The Lings are trying to get on top of these High Templar, but they're not going to find a way in. We have 12 Banelings on the way, and the Banelings, there's a world where maybe they can get on top of the High Templar. Maybe they can find the connections that they need, but StarDuck is going for a massive counterattack, and NXZ does not have any defensive lurkers.
There's so many storms that they act as a buffer for the High Templar themselves. Finally, the Templar go down, but there's still quite a number of Stalkers here. The Archons are always something that you don't want to underestimate. One Templar.
There's still one Templar. There's still one Storm!
Oh, and NXZ eats that Storm to the face. His army just can never connect with that of StarDuck's. But finally, he is pushing this back.
Finally, he pushes this all the way back. StarDuck was a little bit preoccupied with this fight, with this army. We have a massive bank here for StarDuck. He needs to spend it. He needs to reinforce. He needs to warp in.
He's starting to run out of gas a little bit, though, and obviously it does take time to morph these High Templar into Archons as well. Time that NXZ is using to gain so much momentum and so much ground.
Yeah, exactly. We need time here for these High Templar to gather that energy. At the same time, StarDuck tries to expand, but we do see a force cancel. NXZ taking every single base on the map. He just spent his army. He just spent his bank, sorry, but we have more upgrades on the way, and he is teching up.
That's an Ultra on the way. And only now are Immortals being thrown down.
Yeah, exactly. Immortals are on the horizon here, but StarDuck needs to try and get another base up and running. If he can, he will be fine. He just needs a 5th. He just barely needs to get one up and running, but NXZ is going to do whatever he can to stop that from happening.
Including these Banelings, including these Banelings, including these Banelings! Okay, they don't really connect to too many probes there, but still.
Yeah, 5 probes go down. That is much better than nothing. Meanwhile, the Lings are trying to find a way in as well. But this time, there's plenty of Archons, plenty of High Templar. Oh, there's just no way to really engage here. But NXZ doesn't want to. He wants to pull StarDuck apart.
Yeah, that's definitely the way. That's definitely the way to take the game right now for NXZ. There's absolutely no way he can fight this army of StarDuck. StarDuck has storms, and he has moving storms.
God, exactly. Meanwhile, the Lings, they just keep on rolling on in. 11 more workers have gone down. The Ling Bane coming in towards that 5th base. He wants the kill.
And he gets the kill. Slowly but surely, NXZ is completely destabilizing the economy of StarDuck.
He really is, and I hope this doesn't force StarDuck all in. Like, he's doing a decent job at clearing up with his creep here in the middle of the map. He's not overextending. He's not pushing in towards one of the bases. He just wants some map presence.
And he's definitely getting that map presence, but NXZ is a little bit more willing to give that up because he's setting up his flanking positions. Those High Templar are looking so exposed to the Lings here, as well as a couple of Banelings. And the Templar actually end up having to storm themselves, and they will take out so many Zerglings with that. Very quick morph into Archons, and that may just be enough for StarDuck to gain momentum to gain enough momentum.
We shall see, because the Ultras are out. They don't have Kindness Plating yet. They need a couple of seconds, and there we go. Kindness Plating finally does finish up. Zealots are not going to be ideal, but thankfully for StarDuck, there aren't any Banelings ready.
Yeah, the Zealots can still get on top of these. Hydras. There are so many Archons here, which even if they don't deal any bonus damage to armored units, when there are that many of them out on the map, you have to respect them with. Even with your Ultralists. Yeah,
that you do. Meanwhile, one Archon does get caught out here. A base will fall, as well as that macro hatchery, but the Ultras are decently upgraded. Can StarDuck deal with said Ultras? He's morphing in a wave of High Templar.
And turning them immediately into Archons. The Banelings do not get the connections that they need, and those Ultras are looking so exposed. GG is called, and StarDuck will take that series 3-1. He will come back on Sunday to play in those close qualifiers. beautifully done here by our Duck of the Stars, NXZ. He went through this entire tournament, this entire bracket, without dropping a single map until he ran into the Kerrigan Survival 2 champion of 2021.
The #1 GM in Kerrigan Survival 2, mate. Let's go. But yes, GG, well played. Congratulations to StarDuck. He does take it to the veteran of NXZ. I was so concerned because I feel like NXZ set the tone after game one. Game one, if you remember, it ended in less than 5 minutes. It was over real quick, and I think that was the moment that StarDuck needed to realize, okay, I'm up against a really cheesy player.
Yep.
And he was so much more solid, so much
scout.
Exactly, he was so much more solid, so much more defensive from that moment. We did get a more longer macro game here in game number 4, but even then StarDuck was looking so much more solid. He did go for his own weird 4-gate timing, if you remember. That did fall on its face, but economically he was looking so good, and NXZ was having a hard time dealing any counter damage other than that one moment where he went for those drop alerts.
Yeah, that was, I think you pretty much put it, I think you pretty much described it just about perfectly there. I'm actually legitimately trying to come up with something to add to what you said, but I think you just about perfected it there. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. There were a lot of moments, definitely, where it felt like maybe StarDuck wasn't had a couple of blind spots, but again, the minute he got an alert, the minute something attacked one of his walls or one of his bases or something, he was just able to switch gears so quickly and get back on track. It's so insane that we almost didn't have this series. We almost had NXZ versus Zane, but StarDuck, he is the man of many miracles. I'm telling you, like, put him up at first if we face onside in WTL. But he is going to 2-0 Maru.
Mate, he's going to 2-0 Solar. Let's
Maru.
go.
Maybe not Maru because, you know, TVP unwinnable, True. But he'll 2-0 Solar.
Yeah, he'll do
and
it.
Then he'll 2-0 Neeb.
Wait, StarDuck. They won't see him coming. They won't know who the hell he is, and he's gonna rock up and just rock their world, mate. Oh my god. GG. Well played. Again, oh my god, I'm so proud of StarDuck, our boy. I mean, I can't believe that we've been so successful when it comes to our players. They've all kind of made their own runs in their own respective regions, even here in Oceania. Even I didn't believe. I was like, StarDuck, he hasn't been playing that much. I didn't believe. I didn't believe.
That's actually pretty normal. That's actually pretty normal.
I had more faith in Oreo than I did in StarDuck, right? Like, but StarDuck had the run of his life, mate. Oh my god. My condolences, obviously, to Ryan, to NXZ. I have a lot of love for Ryan. We all do. Like, he's a great guy. He's got a great personality, and he's a great player as well. And he came so close to qualifying after being gone for like 2 years. Like, what a return that we're seeing from NXZ. But you know, he's up against the Duck of the Stars, and and Stars just messaged me. He's like, this is what happens when I don't practice. I qualify.
Exactly.
And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
If you remember, the one season where StarDuck made it to the top 6 of DreamHack in the main event, the one season where he almost even beat Miyamika in that season, or he did actually beat Miyamika, he did that off of 0 practice.
That was literally the first season where he was introduced to Kerrigan Survival.
There you go.
There you go.
Shaking my head, StarDuck. You make it hard for yourself. You make it hard for yourself. But again, GG, well played. Congratulations to all of our players. I don't want to put too much pressure on Oreo because I know Oreo did take a break from the game, and likewise he isn't like hyper fixated on practicing right now. But all the other Ducklings have been able to make it through, and I'm so proud of them. So proud of all of our Ducks.
As am I. We're gonna get a flying V. They're going to Atlanta, and they're gonna have their own. They're gonna have their own fighter jets that they fly in on. In formation. There
you go, mate. The Ducks, we fly together, puppy. We fly together all the way to Atlanta. Oh god! And I guess what Emperor said in the chat is correct. Because he's like, yo, Ducklings, when they play, they can't lose because of the narrative, because of the plot armor, you know, because of the stream.
Yep. Exactly. We have such a good narrative. Yo, if any like manga creators out there Want to make a slice of life about esports. Actually, no, I'm not allowed to give you permission over the narrative. Over the narrative here.
Yeah, we have to sell that, man. We have to sell that. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Actually, did the other qualifying match finish?
Well, last I checked, it's currently in the ace match between Raza and Demi.
Ooh, oh my god. Raza and Demi have gone all the way to game number 5. A battle between India and Pakistan going on right now over on Renegade's channel, so be sure to tune into that. But yeah, I also wanted to, before forgetting, I also wanted to bring up the moment when StarDuck pushed out and he got every single one of his high 10 plus surrounded. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's over, puppy.
He had to storm himself.
He had to storm himself. He had like 10 storms and he had to throw down 2 of them. Just imagine how that fight would have gone otherwise. But at the same time, I have to wonder, because those Archons came in clutch, because he didn't know at the time, but he was going up against Ultras. Like storms tickle Ultras. Like Archons are exactly what he needed.
That's part of the narrative. He's got a guardian angel looking out for him.
He does, mate. He does. A guardian duck.
Guardian duck. Quack, quack.
Quack. Oh, God. So, yeah, GG, well played. Congratulations to all the players who did qualify today, that being StarDuck and the winner of Demi versus Raza. There is a second qualifier for Oceania that will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. AEST, and that is where the final Duckling will make his...
early.
It is early.
I gotta remember to set my alarm.
Yeah, 4 p.m. AEST. And of course, I'm sure Oreo will be making his return, and he'll be having another crack at it. He'll be having another run, and yeah, we'll be there to support him.
Absolutely. We'll massage his wrists if he needs. In any capacity, we can support him. We'll be supporting him.
We will. 100%, mate. 100%. And yeah, with that, Yaku, do you have anything else you want to add before we head off?
A couple of things. First off, I was actually gonna ask before the stream started, but I didn't get the chance to, if we were doing China tonight. But WTL match is in an hour, so I guess that's the answer to that. Second off, I would like to blame every concern that anybody in chat had. I would like to blame that entirely on the raw pork I ate.
Shaking my
I'm
head.
not usually like this.
Why are you trying to gaslight the chat, mate? What are you
I'm
talking
not
about?
usually like this, chat.
You're always like this, mate. You're always like this. Aye. Oh, God. Oh, I see Tonaso in the chat. You can't get cursed by bracket RNG if they aren't on the same bracket. True.
Smart. This is precisely why we decided to make the CranKy Ducklings an international team.
There you go.
An inter-region team.
Oh, God. Outside of that, yeah, be sure everyone to tune into World Team League. WTL is in 1 hour. I don't know if I should leave the stream on or not for that. It is an hour. It is a long time, and probably wouldn't be the best idea. I don't know. I guess I'm saying that everyone be sure to come back to the stream in 1 hour, because the CranKy Ducklings, our very own team, we are playing against Berserker Esports in World Team League in 1 hour, and it's going to be a pretty spicy series.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the teams in Code A that's a little bit higher. I would say a little bit higher rated. I know a couple of our own Ducklings were had a couple of concerns, but whoever wins tonight advances to Code S. And that is absolutely something. I know all of our Ducklings are super hyped about that. They just gotta get through one more team. And they'll be on the main stage.
See, uno mas, man, uno mas. There's one team remaining, mate. Oh boy, this is the most important match for us for World Team League, and we have to go and get ready for that. I'm gonna make sure that the players wake up in time as well.
Yep.
It's because
important.
Yeah, our players are based in North America, so it's gonna take a while for them to prepare themselves, get some food, get some breakfast, get some water. But again, just a really special shout out to StarDuck with his performance today. Really catching me off guard, and I'm happy to say that because he did so well.
Yeah. Incredibly well tonight. You had no faith, Light. You gotta believe in your kids a little more, you know?
I guess I should.
Yeah.
Oh god. With that, if you want to tune into more of Yaku, you can follow him there at
right.
Emperor Yakuzaku.
Yep. Not a typo. The correct spelling was taken.
Yeah, the correct spelling was taken, Emperor Yakuzaku. Yaku is busy with his studies, but at some point he will stream. He will stream.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, I don't want to make any promises, but maybe second week of October. I might have a little bit of time there to squeeze in a stream or two, but no promises. Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, ! Discord in the chat. We'll bring you to the Cranky Ducklings Discord server. I'm there. Light is there. Steel is there. Fubu is there. Fubi is there. Sorry, Emperor Fubi. Baby Lynx is there. No Clone is there. Kuro is there. Ash. Everyone's there, mate. Yeah, everyone.
Everyone. So be sure you're part of the Discord server. Again, if you want to follow more of the Cranky Ducklings news, then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, !socials in the chat. You'll get plenty of links to all of our stuff. Also support us on Patreon and Twitch here if you want to support us more. Thanks to all the money that we make here on Twitch and Patreon and ads and all that stuff, we're able to fund our team, we're able to support our players, we're able to run our tournaments. We do as much as we can for the StarCraft scene. And yeah, it's been great to see kind of what we've been able to accomplish with that. And it's all going to come to fruition when we make it to World Team League. When we make it to Codes,
yeah.
Let's go.
When we beat Dragon Phoenix Gaming.
When we beat DPG. DPG. Oh, God. Otherwise, you can follow me at @lad_VIP. I stream throughout the week. If you are interested, you can follow me there. Otherwise, if you just want casting, follow us here on the Cranky Ducklings. We will be back in 1 hour. Until then, we will give someone else a raid. We will give Renegade a raid because, you know, they are still casting and covering that series. So you can head on over and watch the end of Raza versus Demi. Until then, we'll see you guys for World Team League.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella. Cheer for our ducks.
Bye.